Because in this digital age, love has taken a backseat, and now it's gone from love at first sight to love at first swipe. But beneath the surface of convenience lies a darker reality, the toxicity of online dating culture, and the nefarious role that capitalism plays in its recent surge in popularity. Welcome to the channel, my name is Pierce, feel free to subscribe if you're new, and today we're going to be dismantling a lie that all these dating apps have told you, that they're merely here to facilitate you meeting the one. You know, that they're an app that's built to be deleted, as they say. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Firstly, let's address the elephant in the room. Dating apps are a business model. Their purpose is to make money, to extract time and resources from you, and to keep you hooked on the app as long as possible. And if we're being honest, dating apps have become a massive money-making scheme. Just last year alone, Hinge made 400 million. Oh, but yeah, you know, it's definitely the app that's meant to be deleted, sure. So let's see who are using these apps and why they're using them. And I'm sure you won't be surprised, but the main users of these apps are men. Yes, men. The same gender that complains about dating apps the most also is the biggest users. Who would have known? So men make up a large majority of the users of dating apps, but approximately 64% of the users of Hinge, for example, are men. But roughly, men get one match for every 40 likes that they give out, and half of the male users get 0 matches a day. So yeah, it's not looking too good for the guys. But don't be fooled, this trend is not isolated just to Hinge. But due to all the rejection that men get on these apps, men start to lose touch with reality and think that the trends that they see on these dating apps of, you know, basically a 1 to 40 ratio basically is also true in real life. And you can't really blame them because they've probably experienced more rejection in one night of swiping than their whole bloodline has. And this obviously causes a lot of men to see themselves as undesirable. And how could you blame them? If you were rejected 40 times in a row, you probably start to think, maybe I'm the crazy one. Maybe I'm not seeing what everyone else is seeing. And this rejection then causes a chain reaction of, you know, just shame and low self-esteem that we can see throughout the whole male space online. But do men just cut their losses and just move on? You know, say, you know what, dating app's not working. Let me just get out of this and do something else. Let me just start learning how to approach people in real life. Of course not. That's not what guys do. Because what do guys do when they feel shame? They dig deeper. They say, you know what, I'm gonna go 2 times as hard. And this is where microtransactions come into play, aka the pay to win strategy, which actually ends up being just a pay to play. And as we all know, men have the mindset of, you know, I can't end on a loss or one more game. And that does extend to online dating, where they are willing to pay subscriptions to these dating apps in order to potentially increase their chances of getting more matches and getting more dates and therefore getting more punani. A man can dream. So men dig in their pockets hoping to find the golden ticket at the bottom of one of these monthly subscriptions, but all they end up is with their hands covered in gold-plated shit with nothing to show for it. And this struggle that men go through on dating apps is then focused on and monetized by the manosphere.
I will crack the matrix.
Yes, the manosphere, the great underbelly of male online content, full of great characters with great morals, you know, just upstanding citizens that are just here to do the best they can to help men, right? They all have such great intentions and they're not cornballs who shout at screens and then get women pregnant behind the scenes and then try and cover it. That's not them. Nope, of course not. Okay, so let's talk about how the manosphere keeps men on dating apps. Okay, so it's no secret that the average man between the ages of 18 and 35 are pretty horny, and these are also the main age ranges of men that use dating apps. And this also happens to be the main range of men that consume this online manosphere content. Coincidence? I think not. Also because this is the age where society pushes young men to go out and, you know, express themselves sexually and explore what's on the market and basically, yeah, delve into capitalism to try and impress women and convince them to sleep with them. And it's also not a coincidence, of course, that a lot of men in this age range are unsuccessful and then find themselves going back or returning or discovering the manosphere that tells them that all women are hoes and that men need to improve in order to get more women. Because of course, a guy that is getting no women or struggling to get women on dating apps will then not only blame himself for not being good enough, but also blame the woman for having too high standards. They also tell their viewers to not chase women, but you need to create the best dating app possible so you can chase women. Male masculine logic 101 right there. Okay. So yeah, desperate guys go on and consume all this masculine content that tells them to go and work in their game so they can bang 50 chicks, so they can understand female nature. And then sell them courses of how to make the perfect dating app profile to allow you to impress these women that deserve less, and impress these women that you don't respect. Go guys, we're doing great. And I think the reason why a lot of guys end up down this road where they're literally buying courses from guys on how to make dating profiles is that men have the belief that the more effort and money you put into something, the more likely you are to get a result. However, this trend does not really hold truth when it comes to dating whatsoever. And the truth is, men have started defaulting and giving up their own unique personalities in exchange for trying to just follow the meta of dating, which these guys tell them is to be as masculine as possible, don't show any weakness, don't let them know you're human. Basically, you have to be a masculine robot who is able to take control of all situations and, you know, look like you're the best thing on the market, and then you attract women that are really love you and they really want you because you're selling them basically a product. And that is how you get into a good relationship, guys. Trust me, that's how you sleep with lots of women. Yeah, great advice, guys. Lovely. It's working out. Everyone's so happy. So yeah, men are basically saying, you know what, being myself hasn't worked,
so let me just be whoever you told me to be,
and hope that works. They're literally they're literally researching coochie strategies and then implementing it instead of being themselves, and then getting no results either way. But then they just like, oh, maybe if I listen to this point, then maybe it'll work this time. It basically, they keep men on this, what's the word? That thing that hamster wheel, yes. Keep men on the hamster wheel of courses. Here's my new course where I tell you even more useful information. Oh, here's an extra bit on top of that course because I didn't tell you all the bullshit. Oh, guess what? Another new course where I tell you all more bullshit. It's just a never ending cycle of courses and shouting you the same basic advice. But guys eat it up. And the truth is, I think a lot of guys don't mind taking advice from other guys when it comes to dating, because a lot of guys don't see dating the way that we used to. It's no longer something you do in order to find a wife. Now it's something you do to kind of get rid of an urge. You're feeling horny, so I need to know how to use these systems to get access to women so I can get rid of my horniness by using their bodies. I need someone to teach me how to do it. Oh man. Okay, enough about the dudes, let's talk about the ladies. What is the female experience on dating apps? Let's talk about it. Let's see what the ladies are going through. Okay, although it's easy to think that women must be getting an easy ride on dating apps, you know, women will just have it easy, all the guys like them, easy, yeah. To an extent, they kind of do, but they do have their own issues to deal with, trust me. So women make up around 30% of users on dating apps altogether. So they are obviously the most sought out commodities, if you want to use that kind of term. But unlike men, women get roughly 15 matches for every 40 likes that they give out. So that's a much higher ratio than men. However, women like around 1 in every 20 profiles that they see on average, as women are a lot more pickier, as they should be, because there's probably, how do I say, a lot less options for them, for their standards, than there is vice versa. A lot of guys have no standards, as we know. They will swipe right on almost anything with a heartbeat. Women cannot say the same. And of course, as women have a lot of options, as there's more men on dating apps than there are women, the men that they do match with, they will receive lots of messages from them due to, you know, men also being socialized to make the first move. And of course, for women, this can be very overwhelming when you open your dating app and you've got 75 messages from 75 people. And then now it's like, okay, who do I choose to respond to? And unless you're a bit of a loser who's going to sit on their phone all day and respond to random guys on dating apps, you're probably just not going to bother to look at it again, are you? However, I will admit, there are some women that use dating apps for a bit of an ego boost. You know, knowing that there's like 80 people that want to get in your pants, as a woman must feel kind of good, maybe, I don't know. I personally wouldn't know, but I'm sure they get some sort of ego boost from that. So, and I have heard women in my own personal life who also say they just download dating apps sometimes to get a bit of an ego boost and then just delete it the next day. So game is game, I guess. So yeah, back to the whole marketplace analogy. Since there's so many things on the market that all look quite similar, you won't really know how good something is until you want to take it home or invest more time into it. But then as soon as, you know, there's one sign of there not being complete compatibility, or there's a bit of a red flag, you're like, I see something a bit shiny over there. Let me put you back down on the countertop. And let's see what the shiny thing over there is saying. And then you probably just repeat that process over and over again until you either give up or you just stick with the shiny object that you found. Basically, women have so many potential suitors, especially on online dating, that it makes it very hard for them to choose who they want to invest time with and who they want to take serious. And that causes women to basically commodify men and put them into categories: provider, hot guy, etc. And yeah, that causes women to struggle to find potential suitors that tick all the boxes that they want. And I think that is why dating culture has become quite toxic on the women's side as well as men's, because since women have so many options, men now become dispensable, and they are kind of just almost a nuisance just because there's so many of them. I think when you have too many options, things become a bit either overwhelming or you just kind of don't really care anymore. And I think that's kind of human nature. And also, when it comes to the microtransaction side and subscriptions, women do not play any part in that. So before any of you guys think, oh, I bet women are paying for subscriptions too, just like the guys. No, they're not. Why would a woman need to pay a subscription on a dating site? No, you'd have to be extremely down bad as a woman to do that. You already have so many options. So no, this is the guys. Guys are at fault here, alright? Anyway, talking about money, let's talk about capitalism's role in online dating. Here is the big talk. Let's do it. Okay, capitalism and online dating. So all this talk about markets, candidates, options, value that we hear so often now in the dating world, and the kind of male and masculine and female spaces, all the sprinkle, all that nonsense, all of that stuff. It basically just shows how dehumanizing dating apps have made dating feel. We're no longer human individuals that are just being represented by profiles. We are now just numbers and digits and names on the screen, which makes it a lot easier to kind of dismiss people, be rude to them, not take them seriously, and devalue them. And you know who loves that? Companies. Companies love when we do that, because it makes it easier for them to make money. The truth is, the only one that's benefiting from the whole new dating app world are the companies that are providing us with the apps. Of course, who else is benefiting? And trust me, they are raking in the bacon big time. Big time. They're getting the moolah. Alright, so Tinder's revenue, listen to this, Tinder's revenue in 2023 was 1.9 billion. Yes, you heard me, 1.9 billion. And the dating app market in general made 5.4 billion last year. 5.4 billion. And the thing is, most of these apps are free to download. Most of these apps are free to download. I'll say it again. Most of these apps are free to download, and they made 5.4 billion last year. And we all know what that means, okay? The elephant in the room is niggas are buying pussy. Niggas are trying to buy pussy. Yep, you heard it here first, alright? Dating app companies are making millions of guys trying to buy some pood. Hey. For apps like Hinge that are designed to be deleted, and apps like Tinder and etc., they sure do have a generous amount of subscription options, don't they? How suspicious. The truth is that these companies are just exploiting a demand for human connection that a lot of people are lacking due to the isolated and individualistic nature of society today. These companies do not give a rat's ass that the male and female relations are all-time low because they are getting paid. So women can stay clowning guys, adding to the 100th thing on the list of icks, talking about sprinkle stuff, engaging in shaming of average men, while being extremely basic in both their way of thinking and appearance. And men will stay obsessed with these shitty male podcasts that keep them in a loop of shame and revenge porn as they get rock hard watching grown men inviting IG models and OnlyFans girls to debate about topics that they have no clue about, and then dunking on them and then celebrating like they scored the winning goal in the World Cup final. That was a mouthful. Pause. Okay, and as we all know, dating apps are extremely shallow. They are all about looks. The black pill was right. Dating apps force you to be shallow. How could they not? They literally present you with people's best attempts at looking good. They give people literally put up their best photos where they're looking the best, where they're maybe edited some as well. They've done all they can to try and make sure their appearance is the best it can be, and they've curated this little snapshot of who they are and basically presented you on a plate saying, Will you validate me or nah? And when you're presented with this, you can't help but compare it to others. Personality is of course an afterthought on these apps, because how can you present your personality when you're provided with a little bio and a selection of pictures? It's clearly about, do you find me attractive? Then let's talk. The most you can do in your bio as a guy is put in your height and your job, and that just leads to guys lying. Guys that are 5'5" are putting 6'6" in their bio and then turning up to the date just saying fuck it, take me as I am. Or they're saying that they're an athlete in their bio when really they're unemployed and just play 2K or FIFA all day. And women are editing their pictures, using old pictures from years ago, or using pictures where there's like 3 girls in it, so you can't really tell who the hell you're talking to. Basically, everyone's using it like a bit of a mini game because that is how it's being programmed. It is essentially soulless. Okay, let's wrap this up because I've been rambling for a little while now. So what is the conclusion here? The conclusion is no one is winning. No one's winning, L's all around. The only people that are winning are these companies. Clearly, they are raking in the cash and everyone is sitting back and allowing it to happen. Okay, I'm not saying dating apps are all bad. That'd be ridiculous because I literally met my fiance on a dating app 10 years ago. Okay, so you can find true love on dating apps, but that was 10 years ago, so I'm not sure if you can do it anymore. But what I am saying is that you don't want to get caught in the trap of believing that you cannot find love and you can't find, someone to date unless you're using online dating. And the truth is, you probably haven't had much success on it anyway, so what are you really losing from getting rid of it? Shit can't get that much worse, can it? And don't get caught into the trap of believing what these apps have programmed you to believe, that everyone is replaceable and that everyone is upgradable and that we're all just faces on a screen. We're all humans behind these avatars that we use online, and we all matter and we all deserve to find love and to be loved. Because at the end of the day, we're all just people trying to find someone to spend their time with. But until we're all able to see what was once an innocent attempt to try and connect with someone has now turned into, due to these corporations monetizing our loneliness and monetizing our need to connect and share our lives with people, we will be trapped in this game with no winner in sight. Hope you enjoyed the video and subscribe because I want you to. And yeah, banana, and I'll see you next time.